Hey guys, I'm gonna be telling you some things that you need to know when you're feeding your dog. Let's talk about that right now. First of all, let's talk about wet food. When you feed your dog wet food, it is very hydrating for your dog because it has a lot more water. It is very appetizing. Also, it is very easily digested. Now, the bad part is that when you feed your dog an all wet food diet, their stomach gets used to not having to do as much work as with dry food. That means that when you give them a harder food to digest, their stomach might not be able to digest it. Now, let's talk about dry food. When you give your dog dry food, it is lower in cost. It helps them relieve stress. It is a free feedable food, and it helps them remove the plaque from their teeth. The same thing that is caused by the wet food. Now, if you have a picky dog, here is what I recommend. Take the dry food and mix it in with the wet food. Make sure that you have more dry food than wet food, and that way they get the taste they want, but the stress relief and the plaque removal that they need. Let's talk about your dog's treats. What can you give them? You can give them apples, you can give them raspberries, blueberries, and blackberries. You can give them oatmeal, just with no extra colors, no flavors added, just the regular plain oatmeal. You can give them eggs and rice, which are good when you want your dog to gain weight. You can give them bread, but only the white part of the bread or the whole wheat bread. Why? Because if it has other ingredients like salt or pepper, you can harm your dog. You can give them watermelon, seedless watermelon. And when you give them the apples, it also has to be seedless. If you have a smaller dog, I recommend not giving them anything in this limit list. Now, what things should you limit in your dog's diet? There's pineapple. Why? Because it can irritate your dog's stomach if you give them too much. You should limit tomatoes, or you should limit broccoli. It contains enzymes that can irritate the stomach and cause diarrhea and vomiting. What things can't you give your dog at all? You should never give your dog salt, pepper. You should never give them avocado. You should never give your dog onions and garlic. You should never give them candy. You shouldn't give your dog ever chocolate. We should know that already. Why? Because they can't properly digest it. So if you give them a little piece of chocolate now, and an hour later you give them another piece of chocolate, you can be overdosing your dog. Also, the caffeine that the chocolate has can make them hyper or give them a sugar rush. You shouldn't give them coffee and tea for the same reason, the caffeine. You should never give them hazelnuts because it contains an unknown enzyme that is known to be poisonous to dogs. These are just a couple of things that you should never give to your dog. That is why people recommend to not give your dog table food, because you are giving them things that can harm them without even knowing. For us, avocados are healthy, they're delicious, but for dogs, they're poisonous. Like, look at the difference from dogs and humans. That's why when you give something to your dog, always consult your doctor and verify if your dog has any pre-existing health issues. Now, if this video has been entertaining for you guys, please like and subscribe, and tell me in the comments down below if you want to know more things that you can and can't give to your dog.